everyone, welcome to the Crochet podcast. My name is Joni and I am the Star Crochet and I sell crochet clothing and accessories for men, women, children, and babies. So welcome to podcast episode number 20. On this podcast, I talk about things like any shop sales, what I've been up to, any items, if I've sold any items, any yarn if I have bought any for the business, any new listings, finished objects, works in progresses, any answers to any questions, and any final thoughts if I have any. So, welcome. This is episode 20. I'm very excited. I'm always very excited for podcast episodes. Let's see what I've been up to. I feel like I've already shared enough when it came to my mental illness, but I feel like I don't know, it's like, okay, so it feels like, I'm just going through even more when it comes to the mental illness stuff, and when it comes to that, I'll have some nights where, and usually, I don't have bad hallucinations or bad visual sight of, I'm trying to find the best way to explain it. So how like people, this is the best way I can explain it, by the way. So how people, like, whenever they take drugs and then they have like a bad high where it's just everything that they fear, they end up seeing, and it's like everything like demonic they end up seeing before their eyes and stuff like that. It's kind of like what I've been seeing at nighttime. I don't have any fears anymore, but what used to be my fear, I was being shown that before my eyes, and I was also being shown like demonic entities and within the curtains and the rug and the bathroom, and again, this was at nighttime, and within my shadow I would just see like a monster, like a scary, like a creepy monster or something. I don't know. It was weird. And then the next day I was just fine, and it's only happened one night so far, but yet again it's something I gotta report to my psychiatrist, and I see him kind of soon. So yeah, it's just when it comes to sometimes when I have a lot going on, it's like, oh, I really can't wait until this appointment because it's such a long wait. And that's the standard of psychiatry appointments when it's stable with medication, is 1 month appointments. And when things like this happens, where I've witnessed over 3 different things to report, it makes the month wait before the next appointment so long. And I just wanted to know if I'm still doing okay, I just want to know if my doctor would tell me, oh yeah, this is, like he said at the last appointment, if it's something normal or something expected, like he said last time, back when my medication was lowered a little bit. And he was like, yeah, expect more visual hallucinations and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, yay. I just want to still know if I'm still doing okay, because it's just something I'm constantly concerned about, having a severe case of both schizophrenia and bipolar. I just want to constantly know if I'm doing good. So with that being said, grab some coffee, some tea, some water, your crochet project and your knitting project, and let's get started. So the upcoming shop sales that I have is the Valentine's Day sale, and I managed to get the sales working on SquareSpace as well, so all the sales that I have scheduled within the year is synced up with Squarespace and Etsy. And the next sale is, the Valentine's Day sale, and it runs from February 14th to February 15th, 2024, midnight to midnight, and that entails 25% off all the listings. And for example, the arm warmers are regularly $213.70, and on sale they will be around $160.28. Those are the shop sales. So I actually bought some yarn within what would be considered to go into last week's podcast, but I forgot to put it within last week's podcast, and I'll show you all. This is one of the 3 packs that I have, but I actually have 20 skeins of this green, and it is the Loops and Threads Soft Classic, and I'll give you all the specifications right now. So it is 354 yards, 324 meters, 7 ounces, 198 grams. It is 100% acrylic, and to care for it, let's see if it shows. It should show. It doesn't show anything. Okay, it just says all in words. I'm used to looking for the symbols when it comes to the care instructions because I can read that. It's kind of strange how it's getting into all words now, because I guess a lot of people don't know the symbols, and they don't know the symbols. Machine wash cold, gentle cycle, do not bleach, tumble, dry low, do not iron. And it says nothing about dry clean. That's why I feel all yarn should stick with the symbols. Okay, so yeah, so I have 20 skeins of these, and that is the yarn that I have. I have no finished objects, but I have a whole bunch of works in progresses. So this will be the longest section within the podcast today, and please bear with me while I try to do some sort of fancy editing within this. I'll try to make it work, but I have to show you all, don't I? I showed you all last time, yeah. The turtle bugs I'm still working on, and it's a big project because I'm making a whole bunch, and they're bigger than what I worked on last time. When I made turtle bugs the last time and failed, their turtle bugs are bigger this time. So while I do some fancy editing, I'll try to make this work. I have certain body parts before I assemble the turtle bugs into certain bags, and I'll show you guys. Here, crinkle warning, by the way. I have a whole bunch of heads. Right now I have 20 heads into this bag. It's a whole bunch of heads. I also have 40, and this is just 3 of them. I have 40 arms for the left and right side. And, it's a whole bunch, but it's 40 of them. I have 20 of the undershells, which are these little flat discs, and they're sewn underneath the shells with stuffing in between the polyester fill in between. And I have a whole bunch of legs, which I have 40 of the legs right now. And crinkle warning, by the way. And I know I'll have to do probably a whole nother round of 20 because I didn't even hit halfway through the 6 skeins that I have for the beige skin, and I thought I was going to go through more yarn, honestly, but I know I'll have to do a whole nother round of 20 heads, 20 undershells, 40 legs, 40 arms, and that's okay. but I want to get through all of the shells first, and I'll show you guys the shells next. Now the shells, this is the fun part because you get to look at the beautiful colors and how they blend together. So I call this colorway blue and green. The colorways are different names on the skeins on the website, but when it comes to ordering the yarn and receiving the skeins and trying to find the color on the label, they're just codes, you know, like a few letters and a lot of numbers. So that's why I have my own name for them. This one is blue and green, and I have 6 of these, and I'll show you all one by one. See, I have 6 of these. I'll show you all one by one because they're very pretty. Okay, and this one is sunset, what I call sunset. I have 6 of these. And then the next that I have, I want to call cotton candy. You'll see why. See? And this is 2. And this is 3. This is 4. This is 5. And 6. This one I want to call autumn. I only have 3 of these. And so the way that I've been doing these is that I started off with doing 3 shells each color, with the blackest dots, of course, and I then turned into doing 6 shells each color with the black dots. And to save the confusion, I don't think I'm going to use the second plan B as a different color as black dots. I did plan that originally, but I don't think I need it because I'm not even near finishing the black as the first game for black dots. And here's the last color I'm working with. This is the sunrise that I want to call. And I only have 2 of these because the first color that I have is already the prototype of the turtle bag that I showed you all last week, I believe. So this is 1 and this is 2. So anyway, I first wanted to try a round of 3 quantity per shell colorway, and I realized it was not using much yarn whatsoever, so then I wanted to try this 6 quantity per shell colorway, and I want to stick with using that, but when I get back to what I used as 3 quantity, I'll have to step up, add 3 to the 6, so then I'll have to do 9 quantity per shell colorway, but then do 6 when I get back to the 6 quantity. So for example, when I get to only these 2, because I only had 3 quantity per these 2 colorways, the autumn and the sunrise, I'll have to do 9 quantity, and then 6 quantity, 6 quantity. You get it, I'm not going to say it the 3rd time, I don't like that number. Anyway, So that is the crochet version of the works in progresses that I have. Leaning down here because I have my knitting project that I have going on right now. So I realized working with the turtle bugs, I was so excited to start again with this turtle bug project because I have not done much knitting whatsoever. And I know that some people are very excited to see my journey of my knitting and just be able to see them as listings and everything and see what direction I take with the knitting and want me to continue and everything with the knitting, but I'm not a knitter. I try to put in time for the knitting, but I am just so in love with crochet. And being able to, here's the sock by the way, being able to work with the yarn, the yarn with more magic. I'll just say that because it's straight to the point. Being able to work with more yarn with more magic, it gives me like a mental thrill, and it's just like, I really like this. I want to work with this yarn more. And it gets me excited, and it gets me wanting to work with it more and more. And it's like I kind of set myself up for, like, I must crochet a whole, this much for today if I'm not working, for the day. And when it comes to a regular workday for me, I'm starting to consider my business as my second job, as I should, I know, but it's really exciting because now I'm like telling my family that, well, I don't really have friends, but I do, but like one or two, and they don't live near me, but anyway, and I'm telling my family, and I'm telling them, oh, I gotta get the clock back into work, and it's really exciting saying that because this is my job, this is my second job, it is my career, and I know that within time I will be like I don't want to spoil it, you all will see. You'll see how far I get. I don't want to spoil it though. So I do the same pattern with this, which is the sock pattern. I don't have any patterns available because I don't like when people get to make my own patterns. I'm not a pattern maker. If you want to get a taste of the patterns that I make, you can buy my items on my Etsy and Squarespace, and I have them in the link below. That's how I roll. So this is the sock. It is colors red and fuchsia. The DPNs that I'm using is the 5mm, and the weight of the yarn that I'm using is worsted weight. And the yarn that I'm using is Mandala Ombre colorway Happy. I lost count of what sock number that is, by the way, and I keep losing count, but I try to remember, and it only happens every podcast recording as well, that I try to remember, oh yeah, I said I was gonna count the sock, and then I forget afterwards. But that is all the works in progresses that I have. This is the final thoughts. I thank you all firsthand for making it this far. I'm not done just yet, but first off, if you have made it this far, please give the video a like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you're notified of every video I make and publish. Share with your friends and family or anyone else of my business, of the intent of my business, and that is written in the my Etsy description or my Squarespace description, and it's a very positive intent, by the way. And if you'd like to know any more info about my story, it's also in my Etsy and Squarespace, and final thoughts. Yeah, when it came to the labels on yarn, how it's all starting to put just words, it kind of just, I don't know what to say. I was gonna say it kind of rubs me the wrong way, but it's not irritating me as much. It's just, I find it kind of like I'm noting in my head, in my mind, and I'm just like, okay, check, noted, okay, that's odd. It's weird, it's strange that they're not putting the symbols of the care instructions anymore on labels of yarn. And it was really weird seeing that firsthand, and how people are saying this is a dystopian world. That kind of adds to it, with the no care instruction symbols on the yarn labels. It does add to it, in my take, at least my opinion, because how it's all in words. And then I didn't even talk about the dry cleaning instructions. It didn't even say anything about dry cleaning, and that used to be part of the standard when talking about care instructions. So it was like, oh, this is oh boy, wow, okay. That's how I felt when looking at the care instructions, when I read it all to you guys. And especially when I got the yarn and I looked at it, just an overview, and I was like, oh boy, yeah. So it's a strange final thought, but thank you all for watching this video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.